Greetings, my V family all over the world. This is your chief. Firstly, guys, welcome to week 42. The final few days for the bonanza from Qnet for VCon in conjunction with the biggest, greatest, most unbelievable live broadcast network marketing event in the history of network marketing. I can still feel the buzz. I can look at social media and I still see everyone posting pictures of their viewing gatherings, okay? Or some people posting pictures from their homes with their family, with their mom, dad, kids, husband, wife. I love you guys so much, okay? It was simply unbelievable knowing that this VCon reached you and you got the click. And I was thinking back, looking at the Instagram pictures of that night where I was in outer space holding that helmet in the space station, which was real, all right? And I was speaking on the opening night and I was telling you guys that there are many things about our company, but one of the greatest strengths of our family is that for 23 years, my respect, my love for the great founders, Japa and Dato Sri Vijay, is mainly because they kept their promises. And that word was ringing in my mind today, the whole day. You see, I don't know whether you guys are brand new watching me on this Wednesday message or you've been around for some time. I don't know whether you're going through a challenging time right now on your journey. All I can say is be a warrior, stay strong, we are with you. And I remember the lessons that Dato Sri Vijay taught me over the last 23 years. And it all comes down to one message he gave me one of those late nights in this counseling session where I sat with him. And he told me, Patman, all right, no matter how you build your business, no matter how long it takes for you to reach financial freedom, ultimately, it's about keeping your promises. And today, I want to talk about this topic. I don't know why, it's just here in my heart, in my mind, and I want to share it with you guys. And I hope it makes sense. So listen very carefully. This is your chief, your upline, representing the great ones, Japa and Dato Sri Vijay, speaking to you at 4 in the morning from my dining room with the famous, fridge with all the magnets of the countries that I have been privileged to travel, all your beautiful countries. I want to speak from my heart. And I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm going to say. You see, no matter at what point you signed up, at some point, you decided to take this journey seriously, or not, you wouldn't bother logging on to VTube Plus to watch this Wednesday message every Wednesday. And I realized that from the point you started your journey until you reach that point where I call financial freedom, which is a complete different definition for any one of you, all right? So don't be attached to whatever the definition is. Financial freedom must be defined by you. That you reach a point where you wake up in the morning, which is the most beautiful feeling ever, where you don't have to worry about money anymore. That you know that you will be able to keep your promises. Because ultimately, if you found your dream at VCon, which I pray you did, it's about the promises you make. See, from the point I started this journey, I was driven by my dream, my mom. But not only her, but the promises I made to her throughout my journey of life. The promises I made to the people I signed up, who gave me their hard-earned money to buy this amazing product from Qnet and start their journey as a networker because of their faith, their belief, their trust, my hot zone, all right, or even the warm zone, or ultimately even the cold zone. A complete stranger, when you do that presentation and you tell them, that there is a chance for them to build this business to a point where their dreams can become a reality. Knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or subconsciously, you made a promise that you will be there for them. Now, don't get me wrong, right? I don't want you to be burdened by their level of success, because everyone's journey is different. Some people start earning checks in the first week. Some people start earning checks after 6 months. Some people struggle for 1 year, 2 years before they hit their first check. And some people make big checks and then it collapses and they rebuild again. Everyone is different. Everyone's journey is different. But ultimately, you have a duty. And today I want to talk about that. Your duty is to keep that promise. Now, you may be looking at me right now and say, Chief, I didn't exactly make a promise to my downline. Yes, you did. Whether you realize it or not, when you sat on that coffee shop table, or you went up on stage in front of 40 people to do the presentation passionately from your heart, and you showed them that tracking center and the left and right, and you told them that, follow our system, that we will be there for you, all right, that we will teach you and guide you on how you can build a serious, sustainable network marketing organization and earn maybe 250, 500, 1,000, 2,000 US a week, all right, and inshallah one day reach a point where you max out. Those words may be a presentation from you, but to the person listening, that's a promise you made. And if you want to know the definition of a great leader, a great upline, my respect and love for Japa and Dato Sri Vijay as my leaders, as my uplines, is because everything that come out of their mouth, every word, they take it as a serious promise to me, to us, their downlines all around the world. When they said, we will be there for you no matter what, I've seen them keep that promise for 23 years. Now, I always say presentation, presentation, presentation. But from the moment you do a presentation, you sign up that person, you bring that person to your system, the 8 basic building blocks, and you follow them for their first presentation and help them close, and you invite them home to meet the rest of your team, or you do power of association, or you make one video or one post on Instagram saying that this is the greatest business in the world, or you belong to the greatest organization in the world. You made a promise. Now I'm telling you, I have to admit, when I was younger, I never took my promises seriously. I thought that everything I said was just something I said. But in the past 23 years of representing Japa and Dato Sri, I understood the importance of what I say. Whether it's the Wednesday message, whether it's my Instagram live on Sundays, or whether it's VCon, or any time I meet you in a coffee shop somewhere around the world, I sit at your homes and you feed me and I speak to you in front of your family, your kids. I was trained by Dato Sri Vijay to remember that every word I say is a promise to somebody else. And the true definition of who you become as a networker, who you become, if you ever want to rise up in the ranks and become a V counsel, a AVP, a V partner, if one day you want to go up on stage and VCon and tell your story, you will not only be defined by your success, you will not only be defined by how much money you make, but you will be defined by the promises you keep. That I want you to understand that as much as network marketing is a business, as much as we belong to this great industry and the greatest company, Qnet, right? You have a duty, you have a responsibility that when you go there and you do a presentation, it's not only about you. You represent everyone before you. You represent me, but ultimately you represent Dato Sri Vijay and Japa. So when you say something, right, and even if you do not think and feel at that moment it's a promise, let me tell you, it is. Because you see, this journey of network marketing is about you earning the love and respect of your downlines. It's for you to build relationships that will survive any crisis, any challenge. You see, we face challenges every day building this business. All right? I have seen so many challenges in 23 years. And never once did I think I would leave and walk away from these great two men, Japa and Dato Sri Vijay. Because my respect for them is based on the promises they have kept for 23 years to this moron with the dream, Padman Senatiraja. And if you want to know the secret of never losing your downlines, no matter how challenging the environment becomes, if you want to know the secret that your downlines will defend you and the company no matter what the rest of the world says, negative or whatever, ultimately it is based on your ability to keep your promises. If you ask me why sleep only gets in the way for me, why I do whatever it takes to be consistent with my Wednesday message, because you see, a Wednesday message is not a video. It's a promise that I've made to whoever who wants to watch it, that by the grace of God, every Wednesday I will be here and record this message. Whether it's the Instagram on Sunday, whether it's being in service to you guys, all right? Whether it's being in service to Japa and Dato Sri Vijay, ultimately there are no contracts. There are no pieces of paper that can define our relationship. Our relationship is defined by whether I keep the promises I make to you and whether you keep the promises that you make to your downlines. Consciously, subconsciously, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, every word you say, somebody is relying on that word and building this business. Every time you go up on stage and say, follow us, or follow this team, or follow this organization, or follow me, all right? Or you say, are you with me? And that person says, yes. That's a huge responsibility. And I need you to understand that if you want to know the secret of reaching financial freedom, if you want to know the secret of maxing out 1 TC, 2 TCs, 3 TCs, it's about keeping the promises you make from day one. And the first promise you make is that presentación. That is such a sacred promise that you show them the plan, you show them the potential income of building a Qnet business, but you also show them that you will be there for them, that you will guide them, you will carry them every step of the way, that you will stand by them through the toughest times that they will face. And you may think it's just a 15-20 minute presentation. No, it is the first promise you make to your downline, is that presentation. And then every time you sit down with them, every time they come to your system or power of association, you are making more and more promises. Now, my mom, Dato Sri Vijay, always told me a true definition of a man is his ability to keep his word or keep his promises. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not perfect. I'm far from it. But today, if you ask me what is my conscious effort every time from the time I wake up till I go to sleep, is to try my very freaking best to keep the promises that I have made to all of you guys. And when I make a promise, I consciously know that it's not only Patman making the promise, that I'm making my promises, all right, on behalf of Japadas Bismarck and Dato Sri Vijay. Now, if you want to know the secret of loyalty in network marketing, if you want an organization that will stay with you even through the toughest crisis or challenges, if you want people to stay with you even after 1,000 rejections that they face, if you want people to stay with you even though they're struggling to achieve their first check after 6 months or 9 months or 1 year, they will stay if they believe in their heart that from the day you did your presentation, You will do whatever it takes, that you will pay any price to keep the promises that you make to them. And ultimately, if you look at your whole network, the connection between every single person is the promises made and the promises kept. Because ultimately, that is what defines a leader, a responsible upline. So whoever you are, wherever you are watching my Wednesday message, from the minute you take out that pen and write or draw that first circle and say, this is you, you're starting a journey of making promises to people who depend on the promises, who make decisions in their lives based on the promises you made, who go back home and maybe disagree with their family and challenge the outside world with bravery and warriorship in their heart based on the promises that you have made. And if you want to know the one secret to achieve success in Qnet, in network marketing, in your journey from zero to hero, from nobody to somebody, from zero to max out, it's very simple, and you're hearing it today on this Wednesday message. Keep your promises, and you will build an organization that will last for generations to come. I promise you that. So remember my message, this Wednesday message. From the day you do your presentation and that person says yes, all you have to promise yourself is that you will keep the promises you make to your downlines.